Welcome back. And in this video, we're going to start heading towards the resolution to Will's character arc. So we're going to recruit him and both of the druids.
Let's talk. I'm up for the challenge. You've just got to make a little space.
We'll have him replace Asterion,
Ready and willing.
but we've got to switch everybody out. We'll talk to Halsin.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
And we'll recruit Halsin.
You are blessed with several companions as it is. Perhaps dismiss one, if you require me.
We'll have him swap out for Shadowheart.
Ready at your side.
And here, we could use Gale instead of Jaheira. Either works.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him, when his days grow dark.
And we'll say that she sounds like she speaks from experience.
No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
And we'll have her join as well.
Flattered as I am, you're fully supported as it is.
And we'll have her trade places with Gale.
At your command.
Alright, so this is going to be our core group. We have one place we'd like to get beforehand, so we're going to go to the Basilisk Gate and we're going to do a little trading with Damon. And it looks like Halsin would like to talk to us.
I had hoped there might be a greater sense of balance within the city. That its walls might enable sheltering within it to foster community, peace. Yet it is not so. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. The printed word sows discontent, and those in need are treated with disdain. Is this truly what progress looks like? Sometimes it is difficult to see exactly what we are fighting to save here. Sometimes the Shadow Druid's desire to separate nature from all this seems pragmatic, not fanatical.
And kind of see how Korga got her crazy opinions. We'll just say that we don't think he truly feels that way.
I do. But at times like this, it can feel like an impossible dream. I was harsh on myself before. On my leadership of the Grove. The decisions I made. Perhaps too harsh, considering this place.
And we'll just end the conversation there.
I know her. That's Ghoster. She's no thief.
Mercenary they may be, but father always demanded
We're going to run past the Elf Song again and up to Damon's Forge. He's got a pair of boots we would like. Not strictly necessary, but they'll be better than what we're wearing, and we'll want them for some of the other encounters.
Read the Gazette today yet, mate?
I should hope so.
Yeah. This edition
We
was
don't get
better
paid
than ever.
so well.
Better than ever. With all the articles about cults and war. He's not been here a Oh, right.
What can I do for you?
And we're just
Of
here to
course.
trade.
Wouldn't be alive to hold them if it weren't for you.
So he has some pretty good stuff. He's got this armor, for instance, that reduces all damage, and you get blade ward, so it halves damage. It's really pretty good. what we're here for is these Boots of Persistence, and it's because they give out Longstrider and also freedom of movement, and freedom of movement is the thing that we're really looking for. Alright, so with those in tow, we are going to head to the lower city central wall. And we're going to head for the docks, so we'll head down and around. And we're going to explore the Iron Throne, an underground prison where the Gondians are being held. And this mission is timed. We have only a few rounds to accomplish what we're here for, and it varies by difficulty how many rounds that you get. Honor mode, of course, is the shortest number of rounds that we're going to have. And this is going to be strongly measured by how many actions we can do, how quickly. So it's going to be all about speed and how much distance we can cover and how many actions we have. So the reason that we're taking our druids and will is that we have lots of summons, and that's going to give us the amount of actions we'd like and also a bunch of movement that we're going to need.
Do you actually do anything?
And our buddy Scratch will make an appearance again. Alright, so they're all in here, and before we decide to open the doors, let's start summoning.
Such an existence lacking?
So our Alfira will summon
Good
a
question.
water myrmidon.
Am I needed?
We're going to swap out Will's main weapon, so we're going to remove the spell Sparkler, and we're going to equip the Infernal Rapier that we got for our Act 2 freeing of Mizora. That comes with the ability to summon a Cambion. So this is usually coming from the Planner Ally spell that we would get from being a cleric. Will also has the ability to summon elementals and even reanimating undead. So we're going to have him summon an elemental. He doesn't get to upcast the elemental. I'm not certain why that is, but of the options that we've got here, we're actually going to want air the most. That's because it's got 2 ranged attacks.
I am ready.
For Halsin, we're going to summon a water myrmidon. We'll conjure woodland being. And we're going to do the same
What your
for
elders have
Jaheira.
learned.
Alright, so we've got a pretty large crew here to work with. A lot of them have powerful ranged attacks.
Time to rest.
And we'll do a little more prep work before we actually head in proper. We'll step up to the door, check sightlines, crouch, and go into turn-based mode just so that we make sure that nobody stumbles by. We're going to try and lockpick this door and see what the difficulty is. So it's a 20, we're adding 6. We can pick up guidance from Will to get to 7 to 10. We have a lot of lockpicks. We'll see if we can do it a couple times. And if we grow impatient, we'll just cast knock on the door. So we'll use the Thieves' Tools. And Asterion picks this almost automatically, I think. But I'm trying to limit the number of times that we swap out characters. We'll try this 5 times here. And we got it. So no big deal if we use knock. And we can see that there's some guard dogs in here. We'll grab one of our dryads and jump it to where we can see in the room. And we're still in turn-based mode, so everything's going a little slowly. And we're just going to dump a spike growth kind of in the middle and see if they'll run across it. That'll start the combat for us. Intriguing that the crowd decided to run towards the dogs and through the spikes. Not 100% certain why that is. Probably we're blocking this area. Too bad for them. They're nameless, so not any game implications for doing so. I feel bad about it though. But they're already disappearing, so they don't actually exist. We are trying to be good guys in this run, so. Although we're also shooting at these guard wolves that didn't do anything wrong, but be trained to guard a closed door. And we'll step back.
Death greets us all, but not today.
No holding back.
And we'll just burn some rounds. And we'll put elementals in the doorway. The doorways are the real enemy in the game. And we've got a shot on Ripper. So we'll take it. And we'll have another elemental step forward. See if we can replicate that feat.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
And we'll just use the targeting here since everything's kind of busy. And since we're all lined up, I'm going to cancel the spike growth and see if we can't get this other dog to approach. I think it ran up. Yeah, it ran up.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
We'll just cycle through everybody's turn. We could chase it in, but us having to move all those characters is going to take longer than just letting it run back in front of us.
Always the same old song.
And we'll see if we can't have Will finish it off. Alright. And Cuddleface is down as well. And we're going to step into this warehouse. And we can see that there's a clicky thing here under these boxes called basement. That's what we're going to click on. It doesn't matter if you make the perception check to locate it or not.
Seems simple enough.
And we're coming into this cargo shipment warehouse that looks much more like a prison, which is not a good sign. And we come running in, we see infernal iron on the floor, definitely not a good sign. So this is related to what Gortash has been doing. We'll come down onto this walkway and we've got this guy, Red Hammer, the divisor, and some sort of submersible. If we had talked to the priestesses of the sea goddess, we'd know that the submersible has actually killed one of their priestesses. They want this guy dead. What we know is that he's running a warehouse where he works for Gortash, and we're going to kill Gortash, and anybody that would work for Gortash is probably not worth saving, so we're just going to shoot him.
On the victor's path, making my move.
Alright, And that's it. So we're going to get in the submersible and we're going to travel to the Iron Throne and we're going to try and save the Ghanaians. But before we do that, we're going to equip and buff. So we'll talk about a little bit what success looks like. So when we go to the Iron Throne, all the characters are going to travel there. And mostly we're going to use the elementals to clear out and open cells and try to release the Ghanaians. This is mostly a product. Saving all the Ghanaians is totally related to how fast we can get to where the cells are and open them, and how quickly we can dispose of the guards. So we're going to have two of our characters go down one path. We're going to have our main character go down the center path, and then we're just going to have some elementals go down the third, where the guards are a little bit weaker and it's more likely for the Ghanaians to run. The AI for the Ghanaians is not particularly great, and so they can park themselves right on top of ladders and stop the rest of them from running. When a path is blocked, they don't just stop, they'll actively run in the wrong direction, so they'll actually get further away from safety. So luck plays a pretty big factor in saving the Ghanaians. So for our main character, we're going to swap out for the shoes that we just bought, the Boots of Persistence. So these give us Long Strider and they give us freedom of movement. We want freedom of movement on all of our characters. We're going to take a look at Will.
Defender of the people.
And we're going to swap out the Killer Sweetheart, and we're going to put on the Ring of Free Movement. He's otherwise okay. And then we'll pick one of the druids that's actually going to run in and do druid stuff. So we'll pick Jaheira here, and we'll equip her with these boots that grant Long Strider, or if we want, we can give her Dimension Door, or we can give her the Boots of Speed that will allow her to move a little further with bonus action. Any of these are okay options. So anybody that we don't give freedom of movement to, that's what we're going to worry about. Long Strider is a spell we can also cast. So for Jaheira, we'll go ahead and give her, we've got lots of scrolls of Dimension Door, and so we're going to give her the Boots of Speed, I think. All right, so our main character knows Long Strider, and we're going to cast that on everybody that doesn't already have it. Including our summons. It looks like we're running into spacing issues. We'll bring everybody around here.
No one back home will ever believe this.
So anytime we see somebody without Long Strider, that's what we're casting.
Hope this ends well.
Ready and waiting. Well,
So-
certainly waiting.
Freedom of movement, that's the shoe looking thing. We're going to cast that on Jaheira. The guards have nets and they will try to net characters. It is no big deal if they net one of our summons. We do not care. The summons are just there to absorb attacks. When we go in, the characters will all proceed in except for one. So in our case, Halson will stay near the ladder and the exit, and will just walk onto the submersible. As long as at least one of our characters is on the submersible when the timer ends, we will succeed and the game will not end. If we are all still in the Iron Throne when the timer ends, then the game will end. So uh, success looks like having at least one of our characters on the submersible when we're leaving. What we're really going for is we're going to try to save Will's father. We're going to try to save as many Gondians as possible. We've never met Omelium, so Omelium will not be in the Iron Throne, and we can ignore that room completely. So there's also some stuff to loot, the keys to the lockbox and stuff. We've already unlocked them all, so we don't really care about the number keys for the bank. What we're concerned with is trying to save Will's father primarily, Gondians secondarily, and if we're really, really fast and we can unlock all the doors early and we're relatively lucky with the pathing that they apply, we may actually be able to save a high number of the Gondians, but luck is a big factor in that. So we'll try taking care of that next episode. So we'll actually hop on the submersible, go in, and start our raid. And it's going to be probably a long one, lots of moving parts. We're going to need, before we go in, to make sure that we've got at least one scroll of Globe of Invulnerability. We're going to want a scroll also of the spell Haste, so we'll have Halson hasting at least one person in our party so that they can go a little faster, and 2 actions around. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one where we explore the Iron Throne. See you there.